Hi, everybody, and welcome to the KubeStellar Community Meeting. Today is August 22nd, 2024. We are proud members of the Linux Foundation's Cloud Native Compute Foundation Sandbox program, and as such, we abide by a contributor code of conduct. Before I read that, if you want to make modifications to this agenda, please go to kubestellar.io/join us. You can do that by either going to this URL here, join_us, or join us without the underscore. So please feel free to. If you want to catch up on videos like this, you're probably already watching it post the meeting. It's on our channel up on YouTube. Go to kubestellar.io/TV and you'll be rerouted, or on YouTube at KubeStellar. And then also our Slack channel. Join the Kubernetes Slack first and then join us. And we'd love to hear more from you. Okay, so you're all invited. Once you've clicked on the join us, you're all invited to add any item that you'd like to this specific agenda or any upcoming agenda in the future. Join us and talk about what's you're thinking about. So our contributor code of conduct, as contributors and maintainers in the CNCF community, and in the interest of fostering an open and welcoming community, we pledge to respect all people who contribute through reporting issues, posting feature requests, updating documentation, submitting pull requests or patches, and other activities. We're committed to making participation in the CNCF community a harassment-free experience for everyone, regardless of level of experience, gender identity and expression, sexual orientation, disability, personal appearance, body size, ethnicity, race, religion, or nationality. Basically, it just means everybody please be kind to each other while you're on this call or in general. And if you'd like not to be recorded, please turn off your camera or turn off your microphone. Use the text option in WebEx alone, or disconnect completely from the call at this time. All right, everybody, thank you for joining. Okay, let's get going here. And just some housekeeping at the top of the hour. I did have some interaction with someone on Slack yesterday regards to what KubeStellar was capable of. They thought that they could provision a platform or another Kubernetes distribution using our project. I told them, and I corrected them, that they were not able to do such a thing, that they would have to use something like a Puppet, Chef, or Ansible, or one of the native tools from any of the cloud hyperscalers. And so he now understands, or she now understands, what it was that that KubeStellar's how it operates. So that's been cleared up. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, nothing else tangentially that's occurred since. So let's move on. So there's been a create-only bit that's been introduced into KubeStellar that allows you to create the workload on the remote only, and then once that's happened, the object on the remote can continue to have a life cycle of its own, and that is in the process of, I believe that's already in an alpha, but now we're waiting for a merging of the KubeStellar OCM and KubeStellar mainstream repository. Once that's accomplished, we should be able to push another release. And so we had, just as a side note on that, we did have a requirement, or some of the folks in KubeStellar's project would like to have seen they wanted to simplify the continuous integration and continuous delivery mechanisms that we have in place, such that these two repos are not split. There's less of a necessity to keep those split at this time, so we're in the process of merging them. So the transport plugin development will be, combined into the main KS repo at some point in the next couple of weeks. All right, any questions or comments on that specific item? All right, good. All right, next up, we had the folks from Georgia Tech join us over the summer, and they came up with an all-in-one demo environment deployment script. They have merged that back in our bin directory, but they have not yet documented it. So if anybody's up for documenting that item, you're free to do so, and we'd love to have more contributions. Help us out. Okay, next up, performance testing. Braulio, you want to give us an update on that?
Yes. So I have pushed a couple of PRs that provide instructions of how to deploy and configure the KubeStellar monitoring tools to observe our control plane on the controllers on the WDS and IGS spaces per se. I have one address. I have one PR pending for the doing some improvements of the configuration for WETS that I got some great reviews. I'm gonna be address them, and I'm expecting for this PR to be merged. Hopefully end of this week or beginning or latest beginning of next week. And also we have a Grafana dashboard that the users can use to observe the key performance metrics that we are observing from our controllers. And I just pushed a PR this morning that shows you how you can use cluster loaders to generate sample workloads for the KubeStellar control plane, and this PR is under review. And by tomorrow, I'm planning to push a PR to configure to address the show API priority and fairness, basically creating some flow rules for our monitoring tools for KubeStellar, so that it doesn't affect the performance of our control plane during the experiments. That's all I want to share on this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really, on behalf of the team, I'm really excited to see that we have this integration in place, and it'll help us keep our performance metrics as part of our KPIs, so to speak, right? And be able to explain to others when they should want to use KubeStellar, how it performs, and create a way for them to feed back to us if they've encountered any issues. So I think this is great. It's a good sign of a maturity of a project. So thank you for working hard on this.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you, team.
All right. Okay, the KubeStellar site. So support for dark mode, there's become a requirement to make sure that the site is rendered properly, not only in regular light backgrounds, but also in dark mode. There is an effort underway to discover if MKDocs does support this. Apparently it does, so we're just waiting on, in the coming weeks, we hope to have a fix ready for that and pushed. Okay, summarization work in progress. So this was status summarization. This is summarization of multiple objects on different clusters coming back to the main Kubernetes hub, if you will, or KubeStellar hub, where it would then be displayed or accessible, so that you could determine if how many or what quantity of which objects have which statuses. And this is should reduce in cases of high load where you're monitoring multiple workloads on multiple clusters. Should reduce the load and give a clearer picture as to which workloads are working properly and not. So this work is still underway. Combined status is, we've been watching if any of you have been watching the repo, you've been noticing that there's a lot of activity here. So we hope in the coming weeks we'll have this functionality available as part of a full release. Would anybody like to say or comment or question anything on the summarization work? Okay. All right, the IFOS program continues. We're lining up folks for the fall. I've got a couple people interested out of Valencia. I'm hoping to get a couple more from Georgia Tech, and I'm waiting for an option to talk to the folks in Rensselaer or probably Technic Institute. So we'll be following up on that. Okay, so IFOS continues. KCD Washington, I booked all my travel there. I'll be going down there and talking about Blue-Green Canary deployments. Talk was accepted, and it'll be exciting to see that. They're also going to be talking about, there's also a DevOps day scheduled for this conference, so I'll stick around for that as well. So it's a 2-day conference in total. First day is a KubeCon day, second day is DevOps days. So get to meet and greet people that are there with like minds about how to use tools to do deployments using Kubernetes as their backbone. So I'll have a report on that when I get back. Okay, KubeCon North America. So If you haven't already reserved your hotel, it's probably not a good idea to start now. They're selling out quick. We've got a couple of items accepted. I think 3 at this point have been accepted. We're waiting on 3 more. Those will be on specific days that happened before the conference. They're called pre-conference. We've been accepted to give a lightning talk on the first day, and as well as we've been accepted for 2 talks that Braulio will be giving, 2 sessions. One is on performance, one is on the software-defined farm. And when we have 3 specific ones for specific days that happen in pre-conference, one is on digital agriculture from Braulio on the Edge Day. Another is for AI Day from Paulo regards to KFP and the use of KubeStellar and Argo workloads. And one from me on IFOS, the program that we ran over the summer. Fairly successful, I think. It has to do with interns working for an open source project and learning things about how to interact in that space. It's a panel discussion. I'm hopeful we'll get accepted. Those decisions. Oh, and also Pavilion. The project Pavilion is also something we applied for, so we're waiting for a decision on that. So those 4 items, so 3 sessions and 1 project Pavilion presence, those 4 items will be decided on August 29th. And so we're waiting for that to come forth. That's in 1 week from today. So we'll have news on that in 2 weeks from today in our next community meeting. Hopefully we get a majority of those items pushed through. We did have a presence in KubeCon EU at the Project Pavilion, so I'm hopeful to continue on that and as an incumbent. All right. Any questions or comments on any of the CFP submissions? Acceptances or declinations? All right, very good. So just to briefly recap, so we're in the process of merging the OCM transport plugin into the regular mainstream KubeStellar repo, KubeStellar/KubeStellar, to remove a lot of the unnecessary remote references that are necessary in order to build and deploy our project. So that will be taking place over the next couple of weeks. Once that's completed, our update or create only bit will be able to be released into a full release rather than just an alpha. So that'll be coming in the weeks ahead. Our performance testing continues with Braulio's work in the background, and also, one other item here that's not necessarily listed is combined status. So those are the 3 major pillars that we're working on at this point. Does anybody else have any comments or questions or things they'd like to add to the agenda at this time? All right, folks. So I think that's going to do it for us. If anybody has anything that they would like to add to this list or discuss now or in the future, please feel free to add it. I'll be updating this and posting the YouTube video as soon as it becomes available on our channel. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I don't have anything else to share.
Thank you.
Have a good week.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.